Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another video here. So we actually have a lot of early reviews that are out for the first two episodes. And so I'm going to touch on that a little bit in here. Like I'm going to talk about some of the general vibes that people are giving off, but I'm going to do a video more specifically on some of that stuff like later on today, or maybe tomorrow. It depends. I do have a recap video coming out later on today, and it's my son's birthday today. So it's kind of like, yeah, I really want to get this video out. But then besides that, I really want to spend the whole day with him. But we'll see, you know, maybe he'll go to bed early. I'll do something later on tonight because these early reviews, I'm telling you, like I'm definitely really excited to see where this show is going. And it really seems like, first of all, we have so much details here on the last 8 episodes. They're so much better than I thought they were going to be. And it seems like literally starting with episode 17, they changed so much stuff here. The opening sequence is so different. There's a big death apparently in the first 2 episodes. There's a lot of stuff here. And so I'm going to talk about what I can here. And I'm going to talk about just some other stuff, some other details we know about the season. That's what I'm going to really focus on here in this video. But in terms of focusing on the reviews and stuff like that, again, I might have a video out later on today or early tomorrow. And yeah, like I said, The Walking Dead is approaching very soon. We're 10 days away now until The Walking Dead returns. And it really feels like it. Ever since we learned all these details, man, does it feel very exciting. So obviously, if you're new here, make sure to be a subscriber if you do want to get all of my Walking Dead content like this all season long. This is going to be a really crazy next 2 months. Now, it looks like people are really freaking out over the reviews, and it's funny because it's so early here. Like, it's so early in the morning that I'm reading this right now. Just wait until later in the day when a lot more reviews start coming out about the episodes and stuff like that. This stuff is going to really start to get really crazy. I do want to try to not be so spoilery with this for the next 2 episodes. So like if there's stuff that comes out regarding the plot and so I guess not necessarily the plot, because the plot, it depends, right? Like it's okay to know what the plot of an episode is going to be. But if you know the full plot, right, where you know like very specific details of the story, that's definitely too far. So in terms of the major death and stuff that apparently happens in 17 and 18, I don't even know who it is, but even if I do find out, I'm never going to say. So don't worry about that or anything like that. But what I do want to talk about is some of the details that did come out regarding the last 8 episodes here. And apparently, I guess the big thing here is that The Walking Dead opening sequence, and it's funny because I did a recap video of episode 16, and when I watched the opening sequence, I even made a mention, and you'll see it later on today, but I even said, like, there was no changes in the opening sequence compared to last episodes, but I imagine for part 3, there's going to be a lot. Like, there's probably going to be a lot of stuff that they're able to do because it's the final season, and you really want to go all out with stuff like this, and it looks like the opening sequence here is actually going to be a lot longer than it originally was. And so they're actually extending it. They're going to have the full cast in there. And also apparently the opening sequence opens up with not Andrew Lincoln, but with Rick Grimes waking up in the hospital bed in season 1. So I don't know how they're going to do that. Obviously, I imagine it's going to be animated, I guess. Maybe there's more of a, you know, he's sort of like a silhouette. Like it's just sort of, you know, in the same manner they've done the animation before, but there's some version of that, and that's how it's going to open up. But I find that super cool. You know, it's going to open up with Rick Grimes. And I think that it's so fitting because we're going into that era now where Rick Grimes is going to be the lead of this universe again, right? These are the last 8 episodes here of The Walking Dead as we've known it for the last few years, or for the last almost 4 years now, right? Which I can't believe it's been that long, but I guess it makes sense, you know, and once The Walking Dead ends in 2 months, you know, we're going to be in this new era of this franchise where there's a lot more focus now on Rick Grimes. He is sort of the lead again, and obviously it's exciting for many reasons. I mean, you saw the hype as soon as they announced that show at Comic-Con. Like, people lost their shit for forever. Like, honestly, for me personally, I couldn't believe how excited I was. The day after I woke up, and it felt like a dream. It felt like the day before was a dream. It really felt like that. So I think that really shows the passion of the fan base, because a lot of people said that they felt the same way. And so to have the opening sequence, Rick Grimes waking up in the hospital, man, that is just going to be so badass. To actually have the opening sequence longer, I think is super cool. And apparently, and I don't know where this fits into it, but apparently Kaylee Fleming, who obviously plays Judith, and she's actually narrating. So I don't know if she's sort of narrating the recap of each episode. Like, you know how they do a recap of like events or whatever? I don't know if she's doing it like that, but like she specifically says, I heard a lot of stories about when the world fell. The people who die and the people who go aren't lost forever. And apparently, you know, I think she says that quite a bit and there's a lot of flashback footage to, you know, just the whole entire series, and there's a lot of footage of characters that aren't on the show anymore, right? Like Rick Michonne, Glenn, I mean, the list goes on and on, Herschel, right? So that tells me that that's actually going to be a part of the opening sequence. So I wonder how they edited all that together. Honestly, I really wonder how it's going to work. You have that iconic theme song, right? Like the da-na-na-na-na, and then you're going to have her talking over that, maybe. Like I don't know how it's gonna work. I'm not entirely sure if that's what they mean, or if they just mean like she sort of does the recap for every, you know, for every episode going into it. So yeah, this is really crazy to actually have this here. Is something that I'm definitely really excited to see now. I really can't wait. I hate it. 10 more days. I'm more hyped now, and now we have to wait so long. I also heard that Negan apparently gets an F-bomb, and I'm really excited to see what that's going to be. I mean, it really does suck that up until this point, and I understand it because, you know, cable and stuff, but it really does suck that Negan isn't the character that he is in the comic in terms of how much he swears, because you know how much that would change the character. Like, that's why people always say, imagine The Walking Dead on HBO, right? Just because you can swear that much. Negan in the comics swears so much, and he has the most creative swears. Like, it's really nuts. To have him say something here is kind of cool, and I don't think they can really do anything different for The Walking Dead Dead City, but I think it would be so cool if they can actually have Negan like swearing a lot more and saying some of the iconic swears that he actually says, right? Like, you guys read the comic and stuff, like, you know what that character is like, and I really wish we could have gotten that character here. I think, you know, Jeffrey and Morgan could totally pull that off, but it is what it is. You know, I'm kind of excited that we're actually going to be getting that right now. I mean, Daryl did actually get one in the second part last season, or not last season, this season, but in part 2. So that's going to be really nice to hear. We also know that there's going to be this major death in one of these episodes here. I'm thinking it's going to be episode 18. I could be wrong, but a lot of people are talking about it online, and apparently, you know, if you're a comic fan, you're going to be shocked. Like, it's something that is totally unexpected. And so for me, I'm trying to predict who that character is going to be now. Because if you're killing off somebody, I mean, we have a lot of shots from stuff that happens later. Again, there's a shot where you see a character like Ezekiel here, right? And I believe this is going to be from later on in the last 8 episodes here. So, like, you know, episode 21, 22, 23, 24, somewhere around there. It's not going to be in these first 2. And so I'm trying to think of who the character is going to be. I don't think it's Ezekiel. Obviously, he's here. I know Eugene is here, so that's not going to be, you know, what happens there. The only characters, honestly, that I could see actually dying here would be Mercer or Jerry. Because I'm trying to think, if you're deviating from the comics, it's going to be a character that hasn't died yet, right? And so I'm looking at all of it, and I'm like, who could it be? Is it going to be Aaron? I mean, I think he's going to be a part of episode 19, right? So I don't see that being the case. I mean, totally, I could see Aaron dying for sure. I mean, maybe it's Lydia. I don't know. But I'm definitely really excited now, because now we're going to be getting this big death here in episode 17 or 18. I'm expecting it to be 18. We'll see. Maybe it is 17. Maybe they start off really huge, but I'm kind of thinking it's going to be 18, because I think 17 is going to set up a lot of stuff, and then we'll see where they go. I mean, the crazy thing is we're going to be able to watch both episodes back to back on the same night if you have AMC Plus anyways. So yeah, we'll find out then, but I am just even more hyped. I mean, looking at all the characters and stuff, to be honest, the one character that I sort of am predicting is going to die is Jerry. Just because there's not a lot of shots. Although, no, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I believe Jerry is actually with Aaron at the castle. So I don't think I'm not right about that. Damn, I was really thinking it was going to be Jerry. Because, like, Jerry's that one character that, like, he doesn't have a lot of scenes from later on, right? So I kept thinking, well, maybe it's because he dies. But no, I guess he's technically with Aaron in that one scene. And I believe that's from episode 19. I don't even have confirmation on that. Maybe that's actually from 18, right? So who knows? Maybe that actually will happen in 18 and Jerry does die. But if it's not Jerry, like, I don't know who else it would be other than maybe Mercer. Because, I mean, the thing about Mercer, he's such a great character, obviously. Like, people love that character. Or maybe it's Princess, right? Like, it's going to be a comic character that doesn't die. Definitely, it's going to be a comic character that doesn't die. And it's going to be a character that isn't seen much later. And I guess the only character that I can really see going, I guess now, would have to be Mercer, right? Like, I'm trying to play this out because, again, there's a shot here of Ezekiel, and I don't see Mercer in the back. I mean, you don't see a lot of characters here, but we know there's a lot of characters in this scene. So maybe there's other shots where he's actually here. But Mercer, you know, he actually isn't around too much. And I believe Princess is here with them. and she's not with him, so it's possible maybe he's stuck doing stuff at the Commonwealth. But yeah, man, you know, this is kind of hard to predict. Like, if there's a major character death, like, what does this mean? Like, who's gonna die? As of now, you know, Jerry, I know kind of seems unlikely because of what I said, because, you know, I believe he's going to be in episode 19. But then again, episode 19, I think it's titled Variant or something like that. Maybe that's not necessarily what happens there. I don't know. I'm just going to stick with that for now, I believe. I'm going to stick with Jerry or Mercer. I'm sort of leaning more on Mercer, which I think would be actually really shocking. I mean, to kill that character off because of his role in the comic and stuff, like, yeah, that would be pretty nuts. But I mean, I guess, yeah, do it. Like, fans have been wanting them to kill off a bunch of characters for a long time now, so like, you might as well actually do it, right? So I mean, there's a lot of characters I'm not even thinking about. There's Magna, there's Yumiko. I mean, there's a bunch of characters that could easily be killing off here, right? So yeah, we're gonna have to wait and see, but I would love to know your guys' predictions for this. Who do you think is going to be dying in episode 17 or 18? I mean, are you excited for the opening sequence? And are you excited for the story? Because I'm honestly hearing all this stuff, these early reviews, man, I'm hyped now. And it makes sense to hold off on, you know, because sometimes I think a lot of these people, the people who review these episodes early, like, they've gotten them like, I think a month and a half ago or something like that. I know it was a while ago anyways. Maybe it was only like 3 weeks or something, but I know it's been a while. I actually think it's so smart to hold off on the reviews and stuff for that, because, you know, posting them now, it's first of all going to be a lot more relevant, but, you know, second of all, it builds up so much hype, and you know, there's a lot more details here, so definitely in some of the early reviews and throughout the next week and stuff, we'll talk about some of that. Here, I just wanted to talk about some of the few things that I learned here, and yeah, I really can't wait to actually start to learn more about some of this here, and this is just nuts. Honestly, this is just really, really crazy, so definitely post all your thoughts down below. Hope you guys all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.